everyone, welcome to the channel. It's TarotLynn. I have a pick a pile reading for you today. Today's pick a pile reading, we're just focusing on whatever message Spirit wants you to hear today. You can pick your pile however you want, just allow your intuition to guide you. So you can go based on the numbers of pile 1, 2, or 3. You can use the corresponding card. So pile 1 has the binoculars, pile 2 has the flowers, and pile 3 has the sunset. Or you can use the timestamps that is going to be in the description box down below and see if there's any angel numbers there that resonate. Or you can just close your eyes, see if it comes to you in your mind's eye, if you hear what number to pick, if there's anything associated with one of these cards that comes to mind. Just pause the video and meditate on this for a moment. And once you're drawn to the pile that's right for you, I'll see you there. I want to say, if you want to purchase your own reading, I do sell them. You can check out my Etsy shop or you can message me on my other social media platforms. If you want to see more videos like this, please subscribe to the channel. I would love to have you a part of this family, and I post new videos every single day to help you develop your own intuition. If you like this video, give it a big thumbs up and share with others. And with that being said, I'll see you at your readings. Hey, those of you who chose pile 1, let's see what the cards have for you today. So you have the 9 of Emotions, the 3 of Inspiration, and 2 of Inspiration. The Queen of Voices. So right away, the feeling that I'm sensing is that there might be this energy where you're feeling a little bit lost, a little bit confused. And the reason I say that is that the 9 of Emotions, when it originally did come out, it was a little bit reversed, but I flipped it upright so that it's just easier to see. And so whenever a card's reversed, it doesn't always negate the energy of the card, but it does kind of have me pay more attention to it and look at the multifaceted meaning of it. And so the 9 of Emotions represents your wants and your desires, your hopes, your dreams, basically your wishes that you're asking the universe or a specific situation for. And so when you have it reversed, it means like you're putting all this energy out, but you don't really know what it's for. Like you're wanting things in life, but they might not necessarily be what you want. They're what you think you want, or they're what you think would be good for you, but your heart's not really in it. Like you're emotionally not as connected to it. And the 3 of Inspiration is all about like exploration, adventure, finding yourself, self-discovery, understanding, learning, getting a deeper education. 2 of Inspiration is taking action on things, seizing the moment, seizing the opportunity. And the Queen of Voices is truth. So there could be a situation in your life where something is not quite what you want it to be, where it's not meeting your expectation, but there's a little bit of a disconnect where like there's still more you have to learn about it and learn why that is. We need the tonic of wildness. I love that for you because literally we're asking like what you need or like what the disconnect is, and it's talking about wildness here. Ooh, that almost lit on fire. All things grow with love. And then you have Orange Blossom, Enthusiasm, the best can be here, believe it. And this one card, it was the back, or not the back, but the top of the other deck, and it says see the world. Okay, I think I'm understanding what's going on for you. I just want to move these so you can see them a bit better. So with these cards here, it's talking about wildness, grow with love, see the world, enthusiasm. I feel like it's time for you to pull back from the mundane or the boring in your life. And I know like some of you are listening to this and you don't like even know where to begin. I feel like in your nature, you don't do good with structure the way that everyone else does. Now, what I mean by this, it's not that you're not going to have any structure in your life, because we all need a level of structure in order to thrive. If we have no rules and regulations for ourselves, we won't be able to function correctly because there will be no motivator for us. There will be nothing holding us accountable. But I don't think you do well with traditional structure. I don't think you're going to thrive in an environment in which you're feeling stifled, in which you're feeling trapped. I think you do better with non-traditional environments. I think you have to go out and find your own path, your own purpose in life. And that's not going to match up with what everyone wants for you in your life, but that's okay, because it's about what is true for yourself and for your core. And so some of you, this is going to be finding a non-traditional marriage or relationship. Some of you might not ever want to get married. Others of you, when it comes to your career, you're going to do a lot better working in a non-typical environment or not working a typical 9 to 5. It feels like when you're stuck in these rigid structures and routines where you feel like there's this like power over you, it becomes very overwhelming and daunting for you. And I feel like it creates conflict in your life because you don't feel like it's conducive for your own growth. I think you're a very hands-on person and you're a very creative person. It feels like you also need to be your own authority in life. You need to have control over what you're doing. And so when you have these non-traditional areas of your life, you're able to have that control. You're able to kind of forge your own path. And I feel like if you're stuck either like in a very like rigid relationship or career or family dynamic or friendship, whenever it feels like someone else is controlling you, you're not going to feel like it's a safe environment for you to grow or for you to share your love with them. You really need to feel respected and like you're free to be weird and you're free to be unique. And so you need to have enthusiasm for everything that you're doing in life. And if it's boring or controlling or rigid or strict, all that enthusiasm is going to go away and you're not going to have it. And for your personality, if you're not enjoying what you're doing, if you're not passionate about it, then it's going to lead to a lot of confusion. That's why the 9 of emotions came out the way that it did, because it's very easy for you to be overwhelmed by your emotions. And when you don't know how to express yourself, you shut down. You don't want to share, especially if you're not surrounded by people that make it a safe place for you to share. It almost feels like you need some sort of a break, whether this is like from a relationship, whether this is from your career, whether this is from people in your life. Like, don't be afraid to take time just for you. Now, depending on your life situation, this break is going to look different. Like some of you, I feel like you actually have the money and the funds and the ability to like get away and like go on a vacation for a long time and just like disappear and like turn off your phone, not be on social media. And that's great if you're able to do that. But don't worry if you're not able to. You can still take a break by taking just a couple minutes for yourself every day, where you're like from 7 o'clock to 7:10, this is time for me, and I'm just going to turn off my phone. I'm just going to spend time either learning this new skill, searching for new jobs. I'm going to spend time with these friends instead of these other ones who are draining me. Like, you're gonna do stuff for yourself, and that might look different every day when you take that little break for yourself. But listen to yourself, listen to your intuition, and listen to your energy. When it comes to restructuring your life, when you can do things on your own timeline, that's going to be the best for you. When you can listen to your own energy and see what's going to be the most productive for you that day and switch things around where you get to focus and lean in on that energy, that's going to be the most productive for you. I would really suggest to have an overview of whatever it is you want to get done in that week or what you're trying to prioritize for your week. But then every day check in with yourself and see whatever's assigned for you that day. Is that actually going to be something you can achieve or not? Because if you're not able to achieve it, if it's going to overwhelm you, it's better for you to accept that then and fix it than to be stressed out the whole entire day. Because you can't grow and be a better person or get more organized if you are constantly stressed. Because if you push through, what it's going to do is snowball, where you're going to end up dropping the ball on something that day, and then it's going to add more to your plate the next day. Versus if you can just be real with yourself, you can be more productive, more efficient. You need to bring an energy of like wildness and intuition into your daily routine and into your daily schedule in order to check in with yourself and see what's lacking from your life and how you can provide it, how you can get your needs met. And I feel like it's also very important for you, like I was talking about with the people in your life, sometimes taking a break from them is okay, because people can drain your energy. And if you're surrounded by the wrong type of people, you're not going to grow, you're not going to flourish. And so it's better to take that break and reassess things and see who is meeting your needs, who is better for you in your life, what friends are worth keeping versus what ones are not, and really evaluate who's in your life and what purpose they serve you and what you give them in return. Because your enthusiasm for them also has to be returned to you. And if you have people who are not as enthusiastic about you, then they don't deserve your enthusiasm. You could find someone who's more deserving of it. And so I feel like this message for you is having you like be real with yourself and check in with yourself and realize like you might work differently than other people, and you might have different perspectives or different mindsets on things, and that doesn't make you wrong, that doesn't make you bad, it just makes you different. And if you lean into that difference, and if you can hone in on your special skills and the way that you work and the way that you can be productive and the conditions under which you thrive, you have the ability to understand yourself in a much clearer light and actually be more efficient and achieve your goals and get everything you want out of life, just in a different path, going down a different staircase than everyone else. And by doing that, you're going to find more success, and you're going to find it quicker than if you just try and conform, or if you just try and stick things out. Don't continue to hold on to things that are boring or mundane or holding you back, because if something's boring, if there's no enthusiasm for it, you're not gonna try. And if you're not trying, you're just gonna half-ass everything in your life, and it's never gonna live up to any great achievement, because you're not trying, because you don't care. And that's the fact of it. The moment you give up on a goal, the moment you do not care, is the moment it's never going to succeed. It's going to fail, and not because you're a failure, because you don't care. And so that's something you have to be mindful of. If you don't have enthusiasm for it, if you don't believe in your goals, then the best that you're going to get is where you're at. If you have enthusiasm, if you're passionate about things, if you can envision it, then the best can be here because you believe it. Your mindset will determine every victory you have in this lifetime. And I feel like you have a very powerful energy. Like, you could be a very strong business person, or you could have a really innovative idea that's going to bring in a lot of money or a lot of success for you. Some of you, like, you could just like marry rich. Like, you might be stuck in this rigid relationship that's not actually serving you, and your other person could be out there super dope and like having all this money and wants to spend it on you and wants to like pamper you. And here you are wasting time with like this traditional relationship or this traditional person or this like status quo relationship or whatever it is you're holding on to with them. And it's like, you know, you have this powerful potential within you. Your dreams are as big as you believe it. It's just right now you can't really believe in yourself. You can't believe in your vision because you don't achieve success the way that everyone else does, but it's because you're not honed into your own skill set and your own energy. You're following the path of most resistance when you could just find the easiest path for you. It's like you're so stubborn right now, you have tunnel vision, you don't see the other paths and other opportunities that are opening up to you right now. And something specific that Spirit wants me to bring up right now with the we need the tonic of wildness. Imagine that you're in this forest, and imagine there's like this pathway that's super long and everyone has been going down it because this is the path, and you don't stray from the path because you don't know what's out there. But really, like, if you were to turn and just run through the woods, you would get to the other side way quicker. Like, don't hold yourself back just because other people are afraid. Don't hold yourself back just because they can't see what you see, because they can't see the same shortcuts as you, because they can't see what your vision is. Seize the moment with the two of inspiration. That's for your own intuition. Sometimes people don't see the same things that you do. They don't sense the same things that you do. But that doesn't mean that what you feel is wrong. And so if your intuition can guide you on what opportunities are there and what you can seize and what you can do and how you can act, that's going to make you achieve success so much faster than these other people who are second guessing themselves. Like right now, it feels like you're second guessing who you are and what your path is and what your skill set is because other people don't want it for you, because they're afraid, because it's not what they're used to. But you don't have to do things for the sake of others. You have to do it for yourself. That's what the Queen of Voices is here. It's like being truthful to yourself, being honest with yourself, and being upfront with yourself. Like, don't lie to yourself. Don't mislead yourself just because you think it's easier, because it's not. I want to flip these over and look at the artwork. So you have a mountain, you have a jar with its own ecosystem, and you have binoculars. You could be a Capricorn or have like Capricorn heavy placements in your chart. But the thing about like this mountain imagery is always like you can achieve success. Like, you can climb this mountain. And sure, it's going to take a lot of blood, sweat, and tears, but if you dream it, it is achievable. Like whatever you want, you can get it. It's going to take trial and error. You're going to have to figure shit out, but you're going to be able to get there at the end. And so I also feel like what this is warning you of, it's like there's going to be resistance. There's going to be people at the bottom of this hill saying you're never going to reach there. It's going to take so long. It's going to be so draining. You're going to be exhausted. It's a waste of time. It's a waste of efforts. But they don't get to see the view from the top. They're down here with their tunnel vision, only seeing what's in front of them. Once you scale that mountain, yes, it's hard work, but you'll be at the top. You then have a bird's eye view, and you get to see all the different paths that are available. You get to see all these different options that these people don't have. So sure, it's going to require more effort. You're going to have to believe in yourself more than anyone else believes in you. But once you get to the top, all these different opportunities are going to open up to you, and specifically to you, because you're the one with the skill sets to achieve it. With this jar here, there's this energy of being trapped, which is not conductive to you. But by being trapped, this is how you were able to find yourself. You're able to build your own ecosystem because you're realizing what is not beneficial to you. And when you realize what's not beneficial to you, you then see what's left, what's remaining. And that is what is beneficial to you, what helps you, what motivates you, what gets you to be the most productive that you can be. And the binoculars is the ability to see when you're on the top of this mountain. I really feel like Spirit's encouraging you. Take time to figure out what works for you, not what works for everyone else. Listen to your own body, your own intuition. And once you figure out what works for you, lean into it. Allow that to become the focus of your life, of your skill, and use that lens to evaluate everything in your life, from your family, from your friends, from your relationships, from your career, from your hobbies. Allow that to be the lens that you look through your life at, so you can tailor every area of your life to yourself and to what makes sense for you and what is actually conducive to your own growth. Right now, you're focused on growing the same way that everyone else does, but that's not true to who you are. And so you're actually preventing yourself from thriving, from getting everything you can. You're never going to reach your full potential because you're stagnating yourself before you ever get the chance to actually figure out what you want, figure out who you are. And so I feel like your life has just been living in limbo for so long. And this is Spirit's way of saying, hey, it's time for you to feel again. It's time for you to live your life for you. It's time for you to discover things about yourself that you've been neglecting, that you've been shoving under the rug, that you've been sweeping aside. And now it's time for you to find an enthusiasm for yourself, for your life, and everything in it. And you don't need to care what other people think because they're not living your life. They can live their life how they want. This is your life. And you're not going to be happy if you don't figure out what it is that you want. If you don't seize the opportunities that are beneficial to you. If you don't listen to your gut instincts, because that's going to lead you to a life full of regrets. And that's going to make you feel stifled, make you feel trapped, and it's not going to make you feel good. And so this is just a little bit of like a wake-up call for you. Reassess your life, figure things out, take breaks from people, from situations, from careers, from whatever it is in your life that is stifling you and holding you back. Just take a break from it and really focus in on what you want, what your skill sets are, and how you can make your dream life possible. Don't stay stuck in this cycle because it's not beneficial for you. That's the biggest takeaway for you right now. There's something in your life that's too controlling, too stagnant, too boring, and it's not helping you the way that you're hoping it will be. It is hurting you, and it's time for you to evaluate that and remove it from your life so that you can free yourself. Because right now, yes, this thing is stifling, but you're the one who's attached to it, and that's what's truly keeping you trapped. You're choosing to stay stuck in this environment or this situation, and only you have the ability to free yourself from it. So I hope that this reading was helpful. I hope that it gave you the advice that you needed. If it resonated, let me know in the YouTube comments down below. Also, give this video a big thumbs up and share with others. I post new videos every single day to help you on your spiritual journeys, and I can't wait to see you all in my next video. If you want to purchase a reading from me, I do sell them. You can message me on social media or check out my Etsy shop. I can't wait to see you all in my next video, and I hope you all have a good one until then. Bye. Hey, those of you who chose pile number 2, I'm going to start shuffling your cards. You have Death, you have Queen of Emotions, You have the Empress, you have Strength, and you have the Three of Emotions. And you have the Seven of Emotions. You have may your life be full of love, adventure, and wildflowers. Heart, ease, compassion, tread a little more tenderly, and picture plant, insight. The answers are there for those who look. I'm going to move your cards so you can see them a little bit better. So obviously there's a change coming up for you. You're going to transform. And what I'm hearing from Spirit is that you're going from this Queen of Emotions to the Queen of Pentacles and this Empress-like energy. Because this Queen of Emotions, yes, she's like a mother-like energy, but you have all emotion cards, and then you have major arcana when it comes to tarot. So it feels like right now you've been very like heavy with your emotions, and they've been clouding your judgment. They've been weighing you down because you have Three of Emotions, which is all about like celebration, having a good time, being in your positive feelings. And then you have the Seven of Emotions, which is kind of being overwhelmed, having to make a choice, being in this state where you have to choose what path you go down. And so you went from the celebrating time to, oh my God, I have responsibilities. And it just feels like there's like a lot of pressure on your plate. Energetically, it's almost as if you are collecting everyone's energy and you don't know how to decipher your own. You don't know how to find your own voice, find your own reasoning, your own logic. And you've almost absorbed everyone else's problems as your own. It almost feels like in your life, you could be like everyone's like therapist or go-to person for advice. And so here you are like telling everyone advice. And now when shit hits the fan for yourself, you don't know what to do. It's like you can tell advice for everyone else, but now that it's you, now that it's real, it's like, oh my God, you're panicking. You're stressed out. And so this Empress energy, which is also reminding me of the Queen of Pentacles, is this mother-like energy, but not as emotional, more nurturing, compassionate, yes, but realistic and logical, and going to give you sound advice and kind of push you out of the nest, so to speak. To me, the Queen of Emotions is almost a cuddler, an enabler, versus the Empress is a boss, is independent, knows that no one else is going to get shit done for her, nor should she want them to, because she's going to do the best. She's the creator. She's the mother energy. She's going out and cultivating the life she wants. Because why is she going to leave that up to someone else? Why is she going to leave her life, her decisions, her responsibility onto someone else who might not do as good of a job? She wants to get the most out of life. She wants to cultivate all that potential for herself. She wants to co-create the life that is meant for her. And she's not going to leave that responsibility for anyone else. And so you're stepping into this death-like energy in which this nice version of yourself has to die. This people-pleasing energy has to die. And you have to have the strength now. You have to be courageous, be brave, step out on your own, make your own path. Some of you could be leaving a relationship. Some of you could be single parents here and having to like start anew. Regardless of your circumstance of like what you're leaving behind during this change of your life, know that everything you take with you is going to be well worth it, because it's what's meant to stay with you for a lifetime. When you step into your Empress energy, it doesn't matter if you're a man or a woman, you are going to create everything you want out of life. And so whatever people you take with you, like a mother is going to take her children, they're with you for life. There's a bond and a loyalty between you. And so if you lose a relationship, lose a friendship, lose a family member who was toxic, it doesn't matter. It's gonna hurt, yes. You have to mourn them. You have to mourn this version of yourself. You have to mourn whatever this pattern and the cycle was that you were enabling and that you were holding on to and that you were attached to, that you were being too empathetic and too compassionate for. And you have to let it go. And then you actually have to allow your life to be full of love, adventure, and wildflowers. Focus on the good, focus on the positive. I'm going to be real with you. Some of you, it feels like you were enabling someone in your life who had very toxic patterns, whether they were stuck in a really abusive relationship, whether they were on drugs or using different substances, or just attached to very toxic patterns. It feels like you were enabling them in some way, and you were making excuses for them. And now it's time to let them go. And I know this might not be what you want to hear, but good riddance. You can do so much better than them. And this doesn't even have to just be for a relationship. Like, whoever this person was to you, they were just draining you, depleting you. Some of them, I feel like they were taking money from you. They were a waste of space in your life. And I know that's harsh, but this person doesn't want to change. They don't want to learn. They don't want to grow. You can't do anything about that. Coddling them wasn't helping them. And so you got to be real with yourself. It's time to walk away. It's time to be this empress. Stop giving all your energy and shit to them and give it to yourself. Put yourself first. This strength card here is this Leo energy. Leo is a sign of royalty. Leo's supposed to be worshipped. Leo's supposed to have an ego. Leo represents the sun for a reason. The sun sign in astrology represents who we are, represents our soul, it represents our ego. There's no shame in that selfishness. There needs to be a balance with it. That's when it becomes a problem. That's when it's not healthy. But everyone should be selfish to a certain degree, because that is how you are going to thrive. That's how you are going to survive in situations. Strength does not exist if you're not willing to sacrifice to survive. And that's what it feels like is going on right now, is you have to make a tough call. You have to make a tough choice. You have to walk away from a situation or a person that does not want to change, does not want to grow. You have to have compassion for them, where you can love them, but you have to love them from a distance and be compassionate and insightful and truthful with yourself about what is ultimately best for you. Because this person can't stay in your life without draining from you. And so I'm going to be honest with this death card as well. Death in tarot does not always represent death. And I don't think it represents your death. And I don't think it's representing death for anyone in your life who's healthy. Like, I don't want you to take this in the wrong way. If you really don't feel like anyone in your life is making any negative choices that's going to lead to their death, then this is just representing this transformation of yourself. But I do feel for some of you where you have people in your life who are in very bad habits, very bad situations, not willing to change, and they have been digging their heels in, and they've already had health issues in the past. There's only so much that you can tempt fate, and there's only so many times that you can face your consequences and not have any repercussions from them. I feel like this person keeps putting themselves in dangerous situations, and eventually death is going to catch up with them. And this might be the wake-up call that even you need in order to make a change. And some of you, like, if you're struggling with the same habits that they are, this is your wake-up call to realize you don't want to end up dead like this person. And that's sometimes the harsh reality of things, is that sometimes you have to go through something very traumatic in order for you to actually understand it, for you to actually process it and create that change. And so I just feel like this message is meant to be like a warning for all of you, like, hey, changes are coming. And you're not going to prevent a change from occurring. You're not going to be able to stop it, because it's ultimately what is better for you. And it's ultimately what needs to be done in order for you to change course. Because the way that you're currently going down with things, you're too emotionally tied to things. And when you're tied to your emotions, you're very fickle with them. And you're not doing what's best for you. You're doing what feels best for you. And the two don't always go hand in hand. Like, when things feel best for you, that's great in the sense of like what friends you have, or, you know, the person that you're dating. It's not so good when it comes to making healthy choices for yourself. When it comes to wanting to only eat cake every day, or wanting to do something more so dangerous than that, eventually that stomach ache is going to catch up to you. And this is Spirit's way of saying, hey, it's time to incorporate some healthier eating habits into your life, and to really change any negative habits that you have, any negative patterns that you have. And so just be aware that if there's someone in your life who is bad for you, but you always make excuses for, you always coddle them, you always give them a pass, you're going to reach your breaking point with them, where you can't do that anymore. Where you have this insight with the pitcher plant, the answers are there for those who look. Like, a lot of you, it's like you're struggling, you have your own issues in your life, and you're like, oh my God, like, why isn't this changing? Why isn't this working out for me? Meanwhile, you're still letting this person take advantage of you. And so, like, just be aware of, like, when you are doing things or making choices in life with the 7 of emotions, that you're also focusing on balancing every emotional thought with logic. Because when they line up, that's when things are good for us. But when they don't, sometimes you can make the emotional choice. But it's going to be very situational, and it's not going to be every single time. And it feels like for you lately, it's been every single time. And that's why your life has been stagnated and halted, because you're not actually doing what's meant for you. You're not actually being real with yourself and being that Queen of Pentacles, Empress energy, and saying, you know what, as much as it sucks to have to do this right now and have to be responsible, it's going to get me where I want to be. It's like time for you to step into your boss like energy. And this doesn't have to just be for career, but just in general when it comes to your life. It's like you can have fun, you can party, you can do whatever you want. But once you want to be serious or be taken seriously or reach success, you have to sacrifice some stuff. And that's what it feels like right now. You're in a period of your life in which sacrifices need to come up, in which you have to decide what's ultimately important for you. With this Empress energy, what life are you trying to co-create with the universe? What are you cultivating? What do you want out of life? Because whatever you put in is what you're going to get out. And so it feels like in the nicest way possible, Spirit saying, be real with yourself. If you're not happy with your life, change it. But you have to realize what changes you need to make. You have to be honest with yourself. Because for example, let's say that you are trying to lose weight and you have to go on a diet and exercise more. You can tell yourself that all you want. Unless you actually make the change to look at what you're eating and to work out more, you're not actually going to see any of those changes. You're not going to put in the work, and therefore you're not going to get the result. So it's not just about being aware. It's about actually committing to it, acting on it, having the strength to show up every day for yourself to create this life. So just be a little more real with yourself. That's what it really feels like. It's like, stop lying to yourself, stop making excuses, stop pretending things are okay when they're not, and just own your shit. Like, own the situation and act accordingly. But don't sweep it under the rug pretending it will work itself out. Because that's not how problems are solved. Problems just don't go away. If anything, they get bigger. And so call yourself out. Hold yourself accountable. Figure out what your own problem is, and then fix it for yourself, because no one else is going to come in and fix it. The Empress energy is within you. It's not someone going to come to you and fix it for you. And so I'm sending you so much love at this time. I know it's not going to be an easy process, but you have this inner strength within you. Just tap into it. And so I hope this resonates for you. If it did, let me know in the YouTube comments down below. Also give this video a big thumbs up and share with others who need to hear it. If you're not already subscribed, please do so. I would love to have you a part of this family, and make sure you turn on that bell notification so you don't miss out when I post my next video. I post new videos every single week. If you want to purchase your own reading, you can message me on my other social media platforms, or you can check out my Etsy shop. I can't wait to see you all in my next video. I hope you have a good one. Until then, bye. Hey, those of you who chose pile number 3, I'm going to start shuffling your cards. You have the 3 of emotions. Four of emotions, for materials, and awakening. And 9 of inspiration. It came out reversed. I'm going to leave it upright so you can see it better. Chase the sunset, get lost in a daydream. Peruvian lily, strength, more effort will get you what you want. Stop, slow down, the pace must abate before it's too late. African violet, spirituality. It's time to connect with what you believe. I'm going to take a moment to rearrange these cards for you. So you have the 3 of emotions followed by the 4 of emotions. And so this follows the natural sequence of the energy. And so the 3 of emotions is like a period of celebration, enjoyment, hanging out. The best way to describe it is like the 2 of emotions is like going on this really good date. And then the 3 of emotions is like hanging out with your friends, celebrating about it and like talking about it, gossiping. But in a good way, in like a balanced way. Now the 4 of emotions, it's like you told your friends all about this person. Now you're waiting for them to text you back. Now you're waiting for this phone call and you're like, why isn't it here? But what I want to point out in this card specifically is that we have like this optical illusion here. Like we have like the cup and then we have the faces. Whatever situation you're going through right now, it's all about your perception. It's all about your mindset. That's really dictating what is going on here. And so sometimes it's easy for you to get like lost in your head or overanalyze, overthink situations. And I feel like when that happens, it's easy for you to attach yourself to that negative mindset, to hold a grudge, and to guard yourself. Like use it as justification for you to be cold, to be distant. Some of you, it's like to be a bitch, if I'm being honest. It's like holding on to that grudge and being unrightfully rude about it. With that Four of Materials, this is like holding on to what you have, being greedy and not giving it up, not sharing, not understanding, not compromising. And it almost feels like there's an awareness in yourself with this Awakening card of your own like flaws when it comes to this, and your own tendency to hold yourself back and to self-sabotage. Because the Nine of Inspiration, you have this, and it came out reversed. And so when cards are reversed, like in pile 1 we had a reversal, I don't take it to mean the exact opposite. It more so means to pay attention to the different nuances of the meaning. And so the Nine of Inspiration is all about like struggling, like you are facing challenge after challenge after challenge, like you can't catch a break, like you're so close to the finish line, but you keep getting setback after setback after setback. And so to have it come out reverse, it's almost like you're aware of how you are setting yourself back. You're aware of how you're so close to like achieving what you want and being happy, but then you come in at the last minute and you self-sabotage it. Like there's this energy here, really needing to evaluate your life, but not so much your life, your own actions in accordance with it. Because something I want to point out, you have chased the sunset, get lost in a daydream. Sometimes you get too lost in your own daydream and what you envision and what the fantasy could be and what your vision of your life could be, that you forget the proper way to live it, and that life is not perfect. Life is not a daydream. You're chasing the sunset, you're chasing this perfection, but life is messy. And like people are never going to live up to your expectations. Now, this doesn't mean to settle for mediocre people or people that belittle you or put you down or like use you as a stepping stone. But there's a difference between like, hey, this person like messed up, but it was a mistake and they're going to learn and they're going to grow, versus this person hates me and I'm convincing myself it's love. And there's also a difference between like, hey, we're all human, we all have flaws, versus this person is not a good person. And it's almost like you're viewing the world as black and white instead of seeing the different perspectives here. And so when you're looking at life through that mindset, you're never going to see the nuance, and you're going to miss out on great people, great things, great situations, because it wasn't perfect. Because your standards aren't too high, they're just unrealistic. And there's a difference. You should have high standards. You should want the best for yourself. But your standard should not be perfection, because that does not exist. You have to be realistic with what is achievable. And with this card Stop, the pace must abate before it's too late. The pace needs to slow. Your expectations need to lessen before it's too late, before you run out of opportunities, before you run out of chances, before you push everyone and everything away. With the Strength card, more effort will get you what you want. Putting more effort into your own self-growth, your own improvement, your own relationships and connections. And when I say relationships, it doesn't have to just be romantic. Just relationships in general, your connection with others. You're going to get more out of them by putting more effort in. Because for the most part, unless you're dealing with really shitty people in your life, people are going to match your energy. If you put effort in, they're going to put effort in as well. And so if you want your relationship with others to grow, you need to put in that effort with them. And with African Violet spirituality, it's time to connect with what you believe. Connect with others. Connect with what you want out of life. If you are trying to focus on a specific career, a specific goal, align yourself with other people who have that same goal, who have that same vision or similar ones, to help you achieve what you want. Don't just sit and wait for it to be handed to you. Don't get lost in the daydream and never chase the sunset. You have to chase what you want. I don't want you to take this as in, if you can never achieve perfection, don't ever strive for it. But just be realistic with yourself. Like, don't beat yourself up if you can't get it, but try to go for what you want. Like, Make moves in accordance to your goal. But when offered something else, it's okay to take that. And it's okay to change your plan and adapt it, and to change your pace, to sometimes run fast and then slow down. And then like pace yourself when it comes to getting what you want. Don't sprint to the finish line, because you're going to run out of energy before you get it. That's why it's going to be too late. You need to slow down. That doesn't mean to stop. That doesn't mean to pause. That doesn't mean to rest. That doesn't mean to sleep. That just means change your approach. Go at it differently. Change your mindset. It feels like right now you're stuck in tunnel vision, and that's going to be your biggest downfall. But if you can become aware of it, you can fix it, you can change it with this 9 of inspiration. Awareness is coming to you. So don't beat yourself up for what you've done in the past. Just continue to change, continue to grow. And you're not going to be perfect with this either. So don't strive for perfection when it comes to your own growth, for your own change. But just be more mindful, be more aware. When you catch yourself judging things too harshly, or being too unrealistic, or striving for perfection, catch yourself and reshift your mindset. Retrain your brain. Have a conversation with yourself. Let's say that you're comparing these people in your life and all these things that they did wrong. Catch yourself and say, they're only human. I'm going to forgive them. I'm going to move on. And everyone is going to be given the chance to do better. Don't allow yourself to sit and fuel your anger and frustration saying, well, they didn't do this for me, or they didn't do blah, 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 blah. And because of that, then they're a bad person, and say all these negative things about them. Because then it's not even about the thing that they did. It's about everything that they're incapable of doing. And you're now going to hate them for things that are beyond their control. And that's not fair to them. It's not fair to you. It's not fair to the relationship. So just be more realistic. Don't build anyone on a pedestal, because that's also what it feels like you're doing here. Because let's go to the emotion suit and the energy. Let's say you went on this date with this person. You're hyping them up to your friends. Now you're going beyond just how good they are. And now you're putting them on a pedestal and having all these expectations set on them about what they're going to do and how they're going to act. And then when they ultimately don't live up to that, you take it as an attack. You become defensive, because the reality you envision for yourself isn't the energy that they're matching. But this isn't even something you communicated with them. This is an expectation that you projected onto them. And that's why it becomes dangerous, is that they don't even have the opportunity to defend themselves or communicate or compromise with you. You just write them off. And it feels like this pattern has been going on in your life, where you set an expectation, you never communicate it, you expect other people in your life to be a mind reader, and then you sabotage the relationship when it doesn't go in accordance to what you planned it to. So just be a little bit more aware. If you have expectations for someone, communicate that to them. And if they're not able to live up to it, then let them tell you that, or let them show you that. But don't just assume things and then ignore them, because that's what it feels like you do. You're a runner, and running's not going to get you anywhere. And going back, this is why this card is so important for you. Like, your pace is too fast. You're running away from these situations. You're running away from these people. You need to slow down, and you need to give things in your life a chance. And so I feel like for most of you, this was just confirmation of what you've already known, that you are self-sabotaging and you need to correct it. But I hope that this reading was able to give you the launching point for you to understand how to correct it and begin to make those changes for yourself and your mindset, because you are worthy of chasing the sunset and achieving your dreams and your visions. It's just your approach to it is too strict. You're too critical. You're too judgmental. And so you need to release your expectations, like this for materials. You need to release this for materials in order for you to be happy and enjoy your life and change your perspective, so you can see what you have instead of focusing on what you don't have. And so I hope that I was able to give you the advice that you needed. If this video resonated, let me know in the YouTube comments down below. Also, give this video a big thumbs up and share with others who need to hear it. If you're not already subscribed, please do so. I would love to have you a part of this family, and make sure you turn on that bell notification so you don't miss out when I post my next video. I post new videos every single day to help you wherever you're at on your spiritual journeys. And if you want to purchase your own reading, you can message me on my other social media platforms, or you can check out my Etsy shop. I can't wait to see you all in my next video. I hope you have a good one. Until then, bye.